Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann. I'm here to help you lay a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finance. And we are going to talk the basic secrets, the easiest things that you need to do in order to be healthy and fit. And it's really not that complicated. I get the stuff that I'm telling you isn't easy, but it's really not that hard. So I'm just going to tell you to stop eating sugar. Yeah. And you're like, well, that's not hard. That's not complicated, but it is hard. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to do a couple things. I just wanted to say thank you to all the volunteers for the True Challenge. I have several emails and texts from the crew saying, hey, that was a really well-run event, and it wouldn't have been done well without you volunteers. So thank you for stepping in. I had David Wallace was head judge. Paul Heimerl was head equipment. Ron, oh my gosh, Ron. I can't believe that. I just blanked on your name. I'm going to go with first names. Ron Sanders. Whew, good grief. And Jessica DeWeese were doing check-in, and a bunch of people, including them, were doing photography. They kept passing the camera around. That was awesome. Alan, thank you for that too. Athlete control and volunteer lead was Grace King, and facilities was Jessica DeWeese. So thank you guys for stepping up and being in lead roles. Sorry, Grace. You were like, what exactly am I doing? I'm like, yeah, you have all the random stuff we didn't think of, athlete control and volunteer lead. If they need a thing or need to whine, bitch, or complain, or say thank you, they're going to come to you first. Be your sweet Australian or down under self. Australian, Kiwi, which one are you? I think you're Australian. And just, guide them along in a very nice, polite manner. I know you can do that. So of course she can. She's in this for a living. She works with people doing support and sales and works with people all day, a bunch of salespeople. So you know how bad they can be. And then on judging, without the judges, this wouldn't go well at all. All the facilities is great. And I do appreciate that. I would have had to pull out of the facilities to make sure there were judges. And yeah, I didn't hear any complaint. The worst thing that happened was me saying, stop writing stupid shit down. And I should have used more words, but that's what came out of my face or my mouth. So I apologize for that. But so thank you guys for judging. You are on the hot seat all the time. And man, it can be a irritating task. One reason I chose to do the True Challenge, because it's Festivus, it's the old for intermediates and novice folks only. So there are no high profile elites that try to come in and do a thing. Those guys are tough to work with. I just don't like, well, not all of them, but the ones with attitudes are tough to work with. Anyway, so Shane, thank you. Tomoko, thank you. Cam, Bree, Dave, Nick, and Nike, thank you. John, thank you. Jennifer, Alan, Julie, thank you guys so much for judging. Even if it was just for a little bit, you gave someone the ability to step out and use the bathroom and all that. Just thank you so very much. We also had on Paul's gear team, Joanna, Nick Luber's dad, who corrected me. It is Luber's. That was hilarious. He stopped me, put his hand on my shoulder, and he's like, Luber's. I'm like, yes, sir. And then we also had Tomoko's son, Raiden. Thank you guys very much. And then Sharon came in with a whole lot of food. Again, thank you guys so very much. Without you, this wouldn't have happened at all. Okay. The True Challenge, of course, is done, but the next one will be April 18th is we're going to look to do this next. We'll follow a similar format, but I'll fix a couple things that I didn't think of. I did not have a playlist. As I do when I coach, I just turn the music up and hit go. I don't even look to see what it's on. And a couple times, happy birthday or whatever came on. So it was not the song that we wanted. One time, Nick heard it, try to get the radio to move to Bluetooth so that he could change the song because I had no idea what was happening. So thank you for that. Thank you guys for paying attention and seeing those things. I do also like the nonverbal communication that we came up with between Grace, David, and myself. I was standing on the box the whole time. David was out on the ramp, and Grace was floating a lot, but more than usual, she was over by the GHDs, and I would just give them the okay sign, and they'd okay back, or I'd give them a thumbs up sign with like the facial, like, is it going okay? Is it everything all right? And they're like, yeah, it's good. So yeah, that was super smooth, and guys, I appreciate it. So next one is April 18th. A fun thing that I want to have us do soon is this Uncle Shuck's corn maze. If you've never done a corn maze, then you are missing out, my friend. This thing, the way they do it is freaking awesome. They actually turn their maze, it's not just to get in, get out. They want you to hit different checkpoints in the system so that you can say I've been everywhere. So it's a lot of fun. We usually go at night, headlamps and everything, and it gets really cold. So make sure you have headlamps and a jacket. But it's a lot of fun. They do a haunted house one as well. I did the haunted house one once. I did not find it scary at all, but I'm also not that type of guy. I don't know. Jump scares don't really get me. Okay. So the thing I wanted to talk about today is what I would do to do the basic stuff to get this thing to work, to get your health and fitness back. First is I would do CrossFit. It's constantly varied functional movements executed high intensity. It has everything the body needs. It's like the perfect blend of amino acids. So it's like tasty wheats. This is what we should be doing. And it's not specifically like it has to be from a CrossFit gym or titled CrossFit. It's just that I feel it puts the pieces in place that are necessary and adds variety and interestingness. So novelty with a bit of competition so that you're motivated to show up. You have built bonds with people with common adversity. And usually for most people, the no-show doesn't happen. I have people that are very consistent and really want to be on the committed board or get that streak list going. Okay, so CrossFit. What about CrossFit and why does it have to be? It doesn't have to be CrossFit, but what about it? It's the pieces that it pulls out. So 1, in our gym, we have a rule, show up. 2, don't do anything stupid today to prevent you from showing up tomorrow. And those are true and valid. You literally just need to show up and pay attention to what your coach is saying. You don't even need to know what you're doing. The coach is going to take you through that, or the member beside you will lean over and say, hey, this is what we're doing. It's a very supportive environment. And I get that you're like, well, I don't want to be embarrassed because I don't know the words. I don't know the lingo. I don't know the movement. No, that's totally fine. Everybody shows up that way. Nobody walked into this going, oh, well, I take that back. Nobody for the first time ever going to the gym walks into a CrossFit gym going, I know what I'm doing. It is true. If you were CrossFitting in, New York and you moved to Georgia, it's the same stuff and you're going to know what you're doing. But when they went to that gym in New York, they didn't. Okay. So in that, what's important? This is what I feel is important. Try to move 5 days a week. I don't always get 5. I put in 5 on the schedule. Sometimes it's 4. Sometimes it's 3 because I know I'm doing something else. But I try to show up 5 days a week. Now I'm going to differentiate this and say, it's not about movement. If you're doing nothing, just move. That's great. Just go out and walk. You're moving. Perfect. But that's like the lowest level. That's the entry. I don't know. It's just okay-ish. So there's movement and then there's exercise. So, okay, now I've got like a routine I'm following and it's time-based kind of. So I'm on the clock sort of. So there's exercise. That's better. It's better than moving. It's the next step, but it's not where it's really at. I feel that the place that we do well is training. So there is a clock and it is for time and we are competing against each other for fun and we are learning new things. We don't want you to say, well, I'm never going to do a pull-up because I can't, so screw it, I'm out. That's okay. We'll scale and modify. We'll build the pieces and parts to get you there. We want that brain-body connection, the neurological adaptation for you, and we're greedy. We want it all. We want strength, endurance, balance. We want all that, coordination. So it's training. Above that would be sport. Now, the problem with sport is not everyone wants to play the same sport. So on the base layer, everyone's going to walk. I can get everybody to do that. I can get everyone to move and do various movements. Training is a bit difficult. Not everyone chooses CrossFit. CrossFit's training will move you into anything. You could do this and be better at whatever sport you're playing. But for sports, you do need to be specific. If I'm a pole vaulter, I need to eventually go out and pole vault. That's just how it works. Okay, so 5 days a week, you need to be doing something. I even include like Sunday, I did the orienteering race up at Red Top Mountain. I include that. Yeah, it was 2 hours of running, and that's very same modality, but who cares? That I'm actually, so maybe it's just movement, but I was on the clock, so could it be just exercise? But it's a sport, I'm timed, and I have a how did you do versus everybody else. So it's a sport, so where does it fit? Well, it fits in the damn sports because it's a sport. So it counts there. Plus, you're using your brain to do all the navigating and stuff. Okay. Inside of those 5 days a week, 3 of the days I would try to lift something heavy. Now, heavy can be relative. It could be just a light pair of dumbbells. It could be a 1 rep max back squat. Now, I don't do 1 rep maxes. I'd say a 3 rep max back squat, but you're lifting something external, something that is not your body. Yes, you're always lifting your body, but you know what I mean? You're controlling an external load through space and time. So what are you doing with it? I don't know, and I don't really care. If I had to pick the best movement ever, I would say it's a thruster. It's going to put all of these things together into one little spicy movement. So lift heavy 3 days a week. 3 days a week, get out of breath. Have a breathy workout. Have one that you're like, now that could be, I went with super intensity. And you know how that feels. Sometimes while you do lack breath, it's not because you lack it. It's because you did things so fast and maybe held your breath. And now you're trying to recover. To the other side, I was doing a long distance run and I ran faster than I felt like I could. And now I'm very breathy, right? So whatever it is, I'm out of breath and I'm breathing heavy, breathy, 3 days a week. 3 days a week, go below parallel. So in a squat, your hip crease will go down below the top of your knees. Actually, if you're watching this as a video, there's a girl doing it right here. Her hands are up. I don't think she's holding a bar because her hands are forward as well. And there's a whole bunch of people behind her. It's a very weird looking picture. She has legs coming out of her back. Anyway, go below parallel. So a thruster would put all of these together. If you do a thruster with a lot of weight, it now becomes a heavy below parallel movement. If you do thruster with lightweight but lots of reps, it becomes a breathy below parallel. That's also getting heavy too. So it does everything. That's what I would put together and how I would mix it up. Now, it's if you're like me and you're like, well, I really like to work out. I never really worked out. I only did sport and I only trained specifically what the coach made me do for that sport. I would never do anything else. One little bit more negative, no, not me. I played a lot of soccer. I don't think you play wrestling. I wrestled and I pole vaulted. Those are my main sports. And I mean, they're very specific, right? It's not just hand-eye coordination. I've got to be able to Krav Maga you to the ground, or I got to put a stick in this little tiny hole and flick myself over a bar and land on a mat. Yeah, so this stuff is not ordinary. I guess soccer was, but I gave that up in high school. So this is what I would do and how I'd mix it up. I'd also, I mean, now you're getting into the psychology of it. No perfect program is perfect if you aren't doing it. So if you found the best one ever, The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says this methodology will beef you up like me and make you younger, but you won't do it, then it's no good. It's not what you want to do. You want to find one that works that you'll follow. Following is more important. Even if you did a stupid one, if you're following it, at least you're on a plan, and that plan probably has some sort of, I've been thought out, right? So I like CrossFit's plan. We follow CrossFit affiliate programming because it is well thought out. And they program things that I just wouldn't. So now I did throw in stones the other day because they don't know we have them. So I do edit the program sometimes, but not usually. That's what, I get, I guess, programming bias. I only program the things that I like or want to work on. So if it were up to me, and I have done this, so I know it's true, we would never do Turkish get-ups again. I would also make every movement we lifted a % of your 1 rep max, because then it's all relatively the same, right? So for, who's someone super strong? So for Josh to move 135, is not as difficult for him because his top end is higher than it is to me to move 135. So I don't know, let's say a clean and jerk at 135. That's doable for me, but it's not easy. For him, I guess pretty easy because his clean and jerk is like 280, or mine was at the best just over 200. Now it's probably only 185. So it's relative, and I would want people to work out relative to each other so there's a better comparison. But I know that sucks. That's not a great way to measure and score. Okay, so those are the things. 1, show up. 2, don't do anything dumb. 3, 5 days a week, doing something heavy, breathy, and parallel. 3 days a week, mix those up. I mean, that's it. It's really not that hard. Now, on the eating side, I think the biggest thing I'd tell you there is stop consuming sugar completely, any sweetener at all, even stevia, even expressed orangutan, but whatever it is that they're using as sweetener, just stop doing sweet. Get your tongue to feel what unsweet is. What does normal feel like? Most of you haven't had unsweet ever, right? As soon as, you probably don't remember a time that you didn't eat sugar. So that would be the biggest thing, is stop eating and consuming sugar. Now, I'd probably say start off with stop drinking sugar, because you can drink way more sugar than you can physically eat. If you put it into coffee, it's going to be a lot more sugar than, you don't want to spoon into your mouth. It would literally disgust you. So get off of sugar. There's a lot of things that are going to happen because of that. Sugar excites the same portions of your brain as cocaine. I know it's a white substance. It's actually not really. That's when they process it. But it is an addictive quality. If you try to get off of sugar, you won't be able to. At least it won't be very easy. The way I would suggest getting off of it is, like, for example, if you do coffee and you put a lot of junk in there, just put half the junk in it and see how it goes for you. See if you can convert your taste buds a little over time. That's probably the best way. Say iocane powder effect. Just take a little bit of iocane powder every day so that you're immune to the effects, and then only facility will die and you won't. So stop consuming sugar. I would start with the drinking, and then I'd move into the eating. And not just sugar, but all sweetener. Get rid of everything. The other thing I would do, and this is going to be a little bit controversial. Probably all of this is controversial, right? But this lion diet that I'm looking at right now, man, if you've got some issues with you, try a reset here. So one day I'll do a podcast on what we do for medical health and like shots and all that, but it's not today. But there is this guy. Let me go and find him. I think it's called the ICANN Network. Anyway, ICANN. Let me find his website. Okay, so here you go. ICANN, it stands for Informed Consent Action Network. This guy is not against anything. He just wants there to actually be informed consent. So his big push at the moment is on shots, and he had his lawyer that he teamed up with, Aaron Siri, sue the federal government and basically do like a FOIA, for your information, or FOIA, for whatever. It's an information request. Give me all this data. And then he would take him to court and sue him. And then there was no money or anything. There's nothing to get out of it, except he has made the government officials say the quiet parts out loud. So I'm just saying, if you go and watch this stuff and read this stuff, you're going to see that if the official is saying it in court under oath, you kind of have to believe what they're saying. And they say some weird crap. The reason I bring this up is he just did a podcast, his most recent one. And in there, he says there's this lady whose son died from, pollutants and toxins or whatever. And sorry, I don't mean to underplay that. I just don't remember what it was, but it was some sort of toxicity. And he went vegan. And she had his body, when he passed away, tested to see how many toxins he had. He was an organic vegan. He had just as many toxins as everybody else. So the organic veganness of it didn't even measure up to stop the poisoning of your own body. Now, he said the same thing that I usually say. And I don't know the answer why, but he didn't either. But he said it. And so I'm going to go back to the lion diet. The lion diet says eat ruminant meat. So ruminant meat is a animal that has 4 stomachs. That actually, I don't even know what ruminate really means. Let me look that up. Okay, so these are not great answers, but at least it's the term ruminate. First one is to turn a matter over and over in your mind. Now, I think it's ruminate because of what the stomach does. They say the second definition is to chew the cud, but I think it has to do with the inside of your stomach. Let me go down to Webster's and see if it's get more. All right, when you chew, literally, rumination may seem a little gross to humans, but cows chewing the cud partially digest a food brought up from their stomach for another chew. Oh, that's disgusting. I didn't know that. So they barf it up, chew it down. I know rabbits poop it out and eat it again, and that helps them. So anyway, it's just a natural part of figurative ruminant. Okay, my old nemesis, reading out loud. So rumination is a specialized digestive process in ruminant animals. Now, you can't define the word with the word, but they just did. Such as a cow, sheep, goat, deer, Giraffe, interesting. So I'm not into eating giraffe, but I guess I could. Allows them to extract nutrients from tough fibrous plant material like grass and hay. The process begins when the animal quickly swallows food with minimal chewing, sending it to the first chamber of its four-chambered stomach, the rumen. Okay, well, that's interesting. So it always has to be four stomachs. I knew there was four stomachs, but I didn't know it always has to do that. The first stomach is called the rumen. The rumen acts as a large fermentation vat where billions of microbes, bacteria, protozoa, and fungi break down cellulose and other complex carbohydrates through microbial fermentation. This fermentation produces volatile fatty acids, VFAs, which are absorbed through the rumen wall and serve as a primary energy source for the animal, providing 80% of its energy. Interesting. That's fascinating. So weirdly, they're not burning carbohydrates, they're burning fats because they're turning it into fat. That's crazy. I did not know that. The rumen also stores ingesta? I don't know. And fluid, ingesta, I guess. Okay. So if you eat an animal that's doing that, the thought process that Dell brought up and I bring up all the time is that the animal is taking the glyphosate and other stuff we spray on the plants and breaking that down for you, and its meat is less contaminated than other meat and than other foods, right? So the organic farm, I guess, I don't know why they would be just as polluted. So like they're saying the lead particles in an organic farm that really tries hard is just about the same as everybody else's. And I guess it's because there's so much lead in the water. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I do know this. My son had a thing. He was losing weight. He got down from 170 to 117. They said, let's cut your colon out and do other stuff. He said, screw that. Let me try the lion diet. I went along with him. He, as a sick person, is now healthy at 160 pounds. He just started doing CrossFit again the other day. I, as a healthy person, is pretty damn healthy. Now, I will say this. I did that 15K trail run, and I have felt tired ever since. So maybe it's the amount of coffee that I drink, which is a crap load. So I'm going to cut that back and see what happens. I also do get 8+ hours of sleep. So I might try to change that and make it just 8 hours of sleep. So 15 years into it, I will tell you something is different and I will start adjusting. I might even go and make sure I eat an avocado at least every other day to get some sort of that in there and see if it changes it. I do like sweet potatoes, but the last time I had a sweet potato, I had very anxious stomach feelings. So I'm not really wanting to go back to that. Okay. Should you do the lion diet? No, probably not. But I would say this, the easy thing that you should do is stop consuming sweet. And then the next step would be, if it has a high shelf life, don't eat it. So if it was highly processed, don't eat it. So beef, ground beef, yes, it's processed, it's ground, it's chopped up, but that's not highly processed. It went right through, they're done, they package it up, it's out the door. What is highly processed would be like orange juice. It's not really just an orange squeezed out. You should see what they do to it. So I would give up that sort of stuff. I would give up a Nutri-Grain bar. There's nothing in life that looks like a Nutri-Grain bar. I would give that up. So next would be highly processed things. So sweetness, highly processed. I would then move to an eating window. I would start with something super easy. I wake up at 6 a.m. or 5:30 or whatever. So I'm going to eat at 6 a.m. That's my eating window when it starts. I'm going to close it down when do I go to bed. Let's say I go to bed at 10 p.m. I'm going to close down my eating at 9:30 p.m. For 1 week, I'm just going to hold to that. If that works, then I'm going to take the 9:30, I'm going to drop it down to 9 p.m. And I'm going to see how I do. Can I avoid those things? Most of the stupid junk we eat happens right before bedtime, right? Or after dinner. So I'm going to keep moving that down until I get about an 8-hour window of eating. And that's what I'm eating and when I'm eating. And I have 16 hours of fasting. And then I would do that for a long time and see how it goes. That is a great system for your body. It's a great process to be on. All right, what else would I change? All right, this isn't necessarily food or exercise, but if you take medication, I would go look up anecdotal stories, Facebook, podcast, YouTube, whatever, of people who had the same thing that then used other methods besides medicine to get out of it. So an easy one would be, hey, I'm pre-diabetic, so now I'm taking a medicine. Okay, you could literally adjust your way you eat and that should alter itself. I'm taking a statin. That's cholesterol. 1, I would educate yourself on cholesterol, but 2, I would do the advanced lipid study to see what your LDL actually looks like. And then I would do stuff towards that end, like exercise and diet, right? Most of the time, the answer is exercise and diet and get good sleep. Can you do that? I would try to get off of all of the prescriptions that you're on so that your body can just be its body. If the stuff that we're eating is poison, then definitely the thing that you're taking as a pill is poison. It's just very specific poison that is meant to do something that's not poisonous in your body, but it's changing you chemically. So yeah, I would get away from that. Okay, I'm going to cut it off there. Those are the things that I would do. I would show up and I would move. I wouldn't do anything stupid. I would get away from sweetener and I would stop eating processed food, maybe lean a bit heavier on meat. That's it. It's not that hard. It's the easy steps that I think you can take for health and longevity. Is it easy? I think so. It's not even complicated, but it's just hard to do. All right, guys, if you need help, the best way you can get help is get a crew. So join a gym, find other people that are going down the way with you. The next is going to be hire a coach. You can hire me at $1,000 an hour. Yes, that's true. Or you can track your food for 2 weeks. I'll help you for free for an hour. We do have coaches at our gym that work remotely. So if you're local, great. If you're not, that's great too. Let me know. I'll hook you up with them. They have a reasonable price and they will get you connected. You'll just do everything through them. We are here literally to help you. I am one of the few people who say, let me teach you everything I can and then go off on your own. Do your own thing. I don't care. I want you. If you want to be free and do that, please, by all means, do that. I don't want anyone to feel trapped into, oh, I have to show up and do this. No, show up for yourself. It's just that the environment that CrossFit created and CrossFit Garage has is the environment that promotes health and fitness. And that's just what we do. We want to help you look good naked and we want you to become harder to kill. That's it. Thank you, Nick Lubers, for giving me that slogan. All right, guys, you take care. I am here for you. My information is all over our website, CrossFitGarage.com. We do a lot of fun things through the gym: adventure race, climbing, orienteer racing, D&D, board games, pickleball, Uncle Shuck's corn maze, and other stuff. Y'all be part of something. Don't be the loner the rest of your life. Find a group. Take care.